So what we're about to see here happens quite often initially when students are learning to drive. We're coming up to make a left turn at an intersection, and as we're approaching we can see that there's 4 circles on that light, so we know it's an advanced light. The 4th circle that is not on right now usually gives you a green flashing arrow followed by a solid yellow arrow, and then the arrow disappears and either the green light was already on or now it comes on, and then it starts acting like a regular intersection light. So as we're coming up, it's just a regular intersection light, right? So if the arrow is not on and it's just a green light, we just assume that we're coming up to an intersection. That's just like a regular intersection light. So we're coming up here and we can see kind of the hand signal is flashing now. So we should be reading, hey, this light is not as fresh as it could be. And we can see that this person made their turn, and pretty much as the student was about to enter the intersection, right? So they're coming up and it's at this point that the light turns yellow. And so sometimes this confuses students and they're thinking, what should I do? Should I slam on my brake? And the answer is no. We shouldn't slam on our brake to make an abrupt stop. Why? Because it's unpredictable to the car behind us. So what we need to know is, look, we entered the intersection on a yellow, so we need to clear the intersection before it's too late, right? So let's just walk back a little bit here. We can see that it's a green light, and so as we're approaching the intersection, the student has the right idea of wanting to go into the intersection. There was nothing wrong with their speed at which they came into the intersection. But I do want to point your attention to this vehicle, right? At the moment the light goes to yellow, they are far back enough that they should make a complete stop at their stop line, but they've just decided, you know what, just gonna go through, right? And this is how accidents happen, right? It's because either people are speeding, so when they see the yellow light they feel like, too late, gotta go through, or they're just like, it's not even an option, it's not the default in their mind about, hey, when I see a yellow I should try my best to safely come to a stop. I will only clear the intersection if it is unsafe to do so. If you're this far back and you just see the yellow at this point, you should be making a stop. But nevertheless, so we're much closer as we're approaching this intersection than this person. For us to be able to bring the car to a halt in about a meter or less, the moment we see a yellow light is a bit unreasonable. It depends on how fast we're coming up to the intersection. I mean, if you're in a turn lane coming up to make a left turn, you're probably not going any faster than 20 or 25. But even at 20 or 25, making a stop in less than a meter is abrupt, right? So the student did the right thing for entering in the intersection, and then they see that this person is coming through, and so they waited till they make that pass, and then we tucked in behind them. So the thing that I want to mention though is sometimes students will come into this intersection and then they're like, what should I do? Should I still go? It's like, yeah, after this person runs the yellow, or in this case they're running the red, because if they're here they can still see their opposite red light in front of them, and as they're passing through the intersection they're going to see that pass above their head, so they are running a red light at this point, and we need to be ready to make the turn. Now, what sometimes happens with students is they come in and then they don't know what to do. They want to sit there, whereas what they should be doing is slowing down and kind of synchronizing that turn. But what sometimes happens is because they see that car come through, they stop, and then I'm like, we need to clear the intersection. They're like, okay, and then they hit the gas and they turn really quick, right? Nothing in driving should be quick or abrupt. So yes, we see this person running the red light or the yellow and then the red light, but we should come in and think about where do I need to get to and how can I do this dance behind this car so it's nice and smooth. So if you see here, we're coming in and person is coming to almost like a stop here, but I'm saying we need to get ready to tuck in behind this car, and then the student picks up their speed, right? That turn was a little bit on the quick side on the way out, right? So I did appreciate the reaction time, because sometimes I have the opposite happening with the student. They get to this point where they see someone running a red light, and then they get here and then they freeze up. I'm like, let's go. And they're like, now? It's like, yes, let's go. And they're like, right now? And it's like, yeah, we don't have much more time, because this light, when it goes to red in a split second, let's see. Can we see the... No, we can't see the light turn green, but pretty much the moment our light goes red, 1 second after, this light will turn green. So again, be predictable with your speed. Know how to get the car to go from 20 down to 0 smoothly. Know how to get your speed from 0 up to 25 smoothly, right? Know how those are 20, 25 is a good speed for a left turn. 15 kilometers an hour is a good speed for a right turn when conditions are clear. So think about those things as you're coming up to the intersection. It's like, have that contingency plan of, okay, this car looks like they're gonna run through. How am I gonna clear this intersection? It shouldn't come as a surprise to you that some people will run the yellow light and some people will run the red light. But you should have a scenario in your head of at what speed you're going to clear the intersection. So envision yourself, okay, I'm not worried about the car coming through the intersection. If it looks like they're going to come to a stop, like this person is, right? Look how slow they were coming towards that intersection. Look at the behavior of these two cars. And this is what I always tell students is, it's very obvious when someone's blatantly trying to run a yellow light or blatantly trying to run a red light. They make no attempt of slowing down as they come towards the intersection. Their speed is telling you what they intend to do. So as we're coming up here, we can see, at the yellow, I didn't see the front of their car dip. I didn't see any slowdown. It just seems like they're just gonna roll through. Whereas this car behind them, I can see, hey, seems like something's grabbing onto that car, right? It's the person pressing the brake from the inside, but you can see, hey, they slowed down dramatically. Whereas 2 seconds ago, or 3 seconds ago, whenever we first were able to see them, they're traveling together and their speed is matched, right? So they're kind of coming as a group. And the moment the light turns yellow, I'm starting to see a distance created between them. So that's telling me one is going faster relative to the other. And so this person is running the yellow light, but this one I'm not worried about. So sometimes when students see someone running a yellow or red light, then they want for everything to stop. They just want to hit the pause button on the intersection and try to figure it out. But you need to read the situation as you're coming up to the intersection. Why was it that in the moment I saw these cars, they were bundled up together, traveling around the same distance, and then all of a sudden, one is pulling away, coming through, but then this person is staying back, so it's time for me to clear the intersection. And when you start knowing these scenarios and knowing how to deal with them, that's when you've kind of started mastering these left turn at regular intersection lights. So I'll do more of these videos. Let me know if there's a particular scenario that you want covered that I haven't covered, but I'll see you in the next video.